Good evening and a very warm welcome to all the viewers in Express News with me Deepika, and in the next 30 minutes we will take you across 100 national and international updates. Let's begin. Sporadic incidents of violence was reported in the third phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Over 77% voters exercised their franchise right in the state. Voting was peaceful in the 40 constituencies of Assam that went to polls in the third and final phase of the elections. Assam recorded more than 80% of polling. Polling was held for 140 assembly seats in Kerala. Heavy rains, thunderstorms and lightning disturbed polling in some places. More than 70% voters exercised their franchise in this election. Voting took place for 234 assembly seats in Tamil Nadu peacefully. Over 65% voter turnout recorded in the state. Polling was also held in Puducherry and its outlying regions of Karaikal, Mahi and Yanam. Around 80% of voters cast their franchise in this election. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed an election rally in Cooch Behar in West Bengal. He said the day Mamata Didi did khela at the polling booth in Nandigram, the same day the country knew that she has lost the elections. Addressing an election rally in Howrah, Prime Narendra Modi said people of Bengal believed in Mamata Banerjee and she broke their trust. Sharpening his attack, PM said Mamata Banerjee has accused people of taking money and selling their votes. He said that this is an insult to the people and they must respond to this in the elections. Delhi government has imposed night curfew in the national capital from 10 PM to 5 AM with immediate effect till 30th of April. The decision was taken in the wake of increase in COVID-19 cases. US climate envoy John Kerry, who is on Asia visit and has arrived in New Delhi after visiting UAE, held talks with Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar. Both the leaders discussed climate finance, joint research and collaboration among other issues. President Ram Nath Kovind has appointed Justice N.V. Raman as the 48th Chief Justice of India, accepting the recommendation made by the outgoing CJI S.A. Bobde. Justice Raman will have a term till August 26th next year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said false narratives are being built, be it about farm laws, CAA or labour laws. Addressing BJP's 41st Foundation Day today, PM said it's a conspiracy to create political instability. PM Modi reiterated Nation First mantra on BJP's 41st Foundation Day. He added that BJP not only represents national interest but is also a party of regional aspirations. PM said people who say BJP is a poll-winning machine do not understand India's constitution and democracy's maturity. He said the truth is that BJP is not poll-winning machine but a movement that connects with people. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with students, teachers and parents during Pariksha Pe Charcha tomorrow at 7 PM in the evening. The mega event will be held in a virtual mode for the first time due to restrictions posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov held delegation-level talks in New Delhi. EAM S. Jaishankar said the discussions cover the preparations for President Putin's visit for the annual summit later this year. He added that long-standing partnership in nuclear, space and defense sectors, among other issues, also discussed. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said India and Russia are tied through a strategic partnership and at the heart of this partnership is the long-lived friendship between the nations. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu addressed the concluding ceremony of the 25-day-long ceremonial Dandi March organized as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav 2021. Vice President said true Swaraj will come when poor will get the same facilities as the rich. In a bid to promote domestic defence industry, the Defence Research and Development Organisation, which is the DRDO, has allowed private sector firms to both develop and produce missile systems such as Vertical Launch Surface-to-Air Missile Systems Program. Foreign portfolio investment inflows of 2.74 lakh crore rupees into the domestic equity markets were recorded in the financial year 2020-2021. The robust FPI inflows came on the back of a faster than expected economic recovery supported by multiple tranches of innovatively designed stimulus packages. The World Bank, the IMF and several other global research organizations have forecast GDP growth of more than 10% for India in the financial year 2021-22. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange gained by 0.09% to settle at 49,201. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange was up just 45.7 points to 14,683. In the broader market, the BSE Mid-Cap Index advanced 1% and the Small Cap Index climbed by 0.8%. At the Forex market, the rupee had depreciated 5 paise to 73 rupees 34 paise against the dollar. Gold rose rupees 83 to rupees 45,049 per 10 grams today following a rally in international precious metal prices. Silver also gained by rupees 62 to settle at rupees 64,650 per kilogram. Brent crude oil futures rose 90 cents to trade at USD 63.05 a barrel. In a landmark achievement in India's fight against COVID-19, more than 43 lakh vaccination doses were administered in the last 24 hours. This is the highest single-day vaccination coverage in the country so far. As on day 80 of the vaccination drive, 43,966 vaccine doses were given, out of which 39,505 beneficiaries were vaccinated across 48,095 sessions for first doses and 4,461 beneficiaries received second dose of vaccine. In another significant development, the cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 8.31 crore today. The first dose vaccination have also exceeded the landmark figure of 7 crore doses. Cumulatively, 8 crore 31 lakh 10,926 vaccine doses have been administered through 12 lakh 83,816 sessions as per the provisional report till 7 a.m. today. The total COVID test conducted in the country has crossed the 25 crore mark. The cumulative positivity rate has marginally increased to 5.07%. India's daily new cases continue to rise. 96,982 new cases were registered in the last 24 hours. 8 states have shown a steep rise in the COVID daily new cases. 80.0.4% of the new cases are reported from these 8 states. Maharashtra has reported the highest daily new cases at 47,288. It is followed by Chhattisgarh with 7,302, while Karnataka reported 5,279 new cases. India's total active case load has reached 7,88,223. It now comprises 6.21% of the country's total positive cases, a net incline of 46,393 cases recorded from the total active case load in the last 24 hours. Maharashtra alone accounts for nearly 57.42% of the total active case load of the country. India's cumulative recoveries stand at 1,70,32,279 today. The national recovery rate is 92.48%. 50,143 recoveries were registered in the last 24 hours. 446 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. 8 states account for 80.94% of the new deaths. Maharashtra saw the maximum casualties. Punjab follows with 72 daily deaths. More than 13 crore 24 lakh people worldwide have contracted COVID-19 so far, while over 10 crore 68 lakh have recovered from the virus. The deadly virus has so far claimed more than 28 lakh 76,000 lives globally. Greece has announced that it will be extending restrictions on domestic flights until April 12, whereas restrictions on international flights will remain in place till April 19th. As per the restrictions, all those flying to Greece must have a negative PCR test report, which they had undergone 72 hours before arrival, and will also have to undergo random testing for COVID-19. With the vaccine program rolling out rapidly across the UK and infection numbers falling, Johnson said England would proceed to stage 2 of his roadmap out of lockdown from April 12th. The United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Monday that the US will soon be able to ramp up vaccine assistance abroad and will not seek favors in return, putting a veteran aid administrator in charge. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on Monday said the administration will continue to ensure coronavirus vaccine is equitably distributed in Florida amid media reports of improper distribution in the state. Psaki said the White House has been monitoring the situation and it has found 17% of Florida's population is African American, but less than 7% of vaccinations have gone to African Americans. California is on the precipice of administering 4 million COVID-19 vaccine doses in its most disadvantaged areas, a hurdle that, when cleared, would trigger a rewrite of the state's reopening blueprint to make it easier for countries to more widely reopen businesses and other public spaces. In Germany, according to Health Minister Jens Spahn, on Monday, the country will have immunized 20% of its population against the novel coronavirus by the beginning of this May. In Myanmar, protesters in Yangon carried out a red paint strike this morning as part of the ongoing challenge of the military coup and crackdown in the country. Demonstrators in Yangon set Chinese flags on fire in opposition to China's stance at a UN Security Council session held last week. NASA's Mars helicopter Ingenuity has survived its first frigid night alone on the red planet. The United States expect indirect talks with Iran about both sides resuming compliance with the 2015 Iran nuclear deal to be difficult, adding it did not foresee any early breakthrough. President Joseph Biden has defended his proposal to increase corporate taxes to help pay for a big boost in U.S. infrastructure spending, saying he is not at all worried the tax hike would harm the economy. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said a statement by former admirals warning that his plans for a new canal in Istanbul put the Montreux Convention Maritime Accord in jeopardy, was hinting at a political coup. The Sultans of Brunei Darussalam in Atita expresses confidence that the novel relationship between Brunei Darussalam and Malaysia will be further strengthened by the factors of close royal family relations and friendship between the governments and people of the two countries. In the Tita, His Majesty expresses gratitude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because both countries continue to cooperate in curbing the coronavirus pandemic, reflects the deep understanding that is the result of friendly relations characterized by similarities in culture, language and region. California's famed Carlsbad flower fields are in full bloom and are wowing visitors with their bright and beautiful colors. The flower fields 34 miles north of San Diego showcase more than 70 million flowers and create an annual spectacle when the flowers bloom. The attraction Carlsbad Flower Fields was closed for most of 2020 due to the pandemic-related restrictions. The Carlsbad Flower Fields are open to the public until 9th May. Weather report from Moscow streets was suddenly interrupted by a dog who stole the microphone from a Russian reporter at the moment when correspondents started live stand-up about warm weather coming to Moscow. Golden Retriever jumped at her, grabbed the microphone and ran away. A Silhak scholar becomes mesmerized with marine creatures after being exiled to Yoksando Island. The fascinating story of the two men begins with the Book of Fish written by the late Jesuit Silhak scholar Jeong Yak-ju. To conserve local elephants, Yorkjon National Park in Vietnam has been cooperating with the Animals Asia Foundation to develop the first animal-friendly tourism model in Vietnam, in which tourists are allowed to watch elephants in social groups instead of riding on them. A prominent Japanese scriptwriter, Hashida Sugako, has died at the age of 92 due to acute lymphoma. She was best known as the author of the legendary NHK morning drama series Oshin. Medical equipment makers in Japan are ramping up production of a device that can be a lifesaver for COVID-19 patients. The firms are being swamped by demand for pulse oximeters, which measures oxygen level in the blood. During summers, as the Caribbean water temperatures climb, the luminous coral colonies of gold, green and blue that ring the island nation of Cuba give way to patches of skeletal white. A recent research finds that the total number of open water species declined about half in the 40 years up to 2010 in tropical marine zones worldwide. Autumn flowers have been blooming across a number of mountainous villages in Son La province in Vietnam since March, making the province a popular destination among tourists. Autumn flowers look like plum blossoms but have a longer blooming period. These days, farmers in Vietnamese Giang province are using smartphones to manage numerous aspects of farming such as irrigation, sales, pest management and data on saline intrusion. This data can be accessed using QR code. Japan's Emperor Naruhito planted rice seeds at the Imperial Palace. Rice cultivation at the palace was initiated by the emperor's grandfather, Emperor Showa, to encourage farming. Japan's Emperor Naruhito sowed about 180 seeds each in several 30 by 30 centimeter plots. The rice will be harvested in the autumn and offered to deities in Shinto rituals at the palace, including the Nimisai Harvest Festival in November. Former New Zealand rugby great Ali Williams helped refloat a beached whale to safety. The All Blacks World Cup winner spotted the whale from a helicopter while hovering over Mangawai Heads beach and later went to help move it with a friend. The Sports Ministry has dedicated new 75 Khelo India centres to the state of Uttar Pradesh. These centres will be entrusted with one sport discipline each as per the proposal of the UP state government. Shadab Khan has been ruled out from further participation on South Africa and Zimbabwe tours after suffering a left toe injury. Former India wicketkeeper and Mumbai Indians talent scout Kiran More has tested positive for COVID-19. Former England wicketkeeper Sarah Taylor is set to play professional cricket for the first time since 2019 after joining Welsh Fire for the new 100 competition. The Indian women's football team lost 0-1 in a friendly against Uzbekistan. Both the teams got several chances, but Uzbekistan scored the decisive goal after the match with the help of Muktina Sharmova in the 87th minute. Olympic bronze medalist MC Mary Kom will compete at the Asian Boxing Championships at the Indira Gandhi Stadium in New Delhi next month. It will be the first Indian boxing legend's second competition since the COVID-19 pandemic. India to face Olympic hockey champions Argentina in FIH Pro League restart. India will hope for a good build-up in Latin America ahead of the Tokyo Olympics. The Badminton World Federation announced that Russian Open 2021 and Indonesia Masters 2021 Super 100 have been cancelled due to COVID-19 restrictions and complications. The Badminton Association of India too decided to postpone all domestic tournaments scheduled for April and May, keeping in mind the exponential rise in coronavirus cases in the country. Badminton Association of India advised all the stakeholders to postpone the event starting with this month's senior ranking tournament schedule in Bangalore from April 8 to April 25. Two of the most successful teams in the history of the European Cup will lock horns in the Spanish capital today as Real Madrid welcome Liverpool for the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final. Barcelona are back in second place and are now just 1 point behind La Liga leaders Atletico Madrid thanks to a hard-fought 1-0 win over Real Valladolid at Camp Nou. West Ham United boosted their hopes of finishing in the Premier League top 4 and earning a Champions League berth after an impressive first half helped them to a 3-2 win at Wolverhampton Wanderers. West Ham moved 3 places up to 4th on 52 points from 30 games, 1 more than 5th place Chelsea and 3 ahead of 6th place Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool in 7th. North Korea's sports ministry said that it will not participate in the Tokyo Olympics this year to protect its athletes amid the coronavirus pandemic. Bollywood actor Ayushmann Khurrana has kick-started the shoot for upcoming movie Dr. G. The film also features Rakulpreet Singh. Veteran Bollywood actor Anupam Kher unveiled the first poster for dark film thriller short film Happy Birthday. The film is a directorial of Prasad Kadam. Fans of rapper Earl Simmons, known by his stage name DMX, held a prayer vigil outside a suburban New York hospital just days after reports the musician and actor suffered a heart attack during a drug overdose. Streaming service Disney Plus continues to expand on the Marvel Cinematic Universe of films with a new look at the upcoming series Loki. The series will star Tom Hiddleston as the trickster Nordic god Loki. The family of Britain's Captain Tom Murray, the World War II veteran who lifted a nation's spirit during the pandemic, are calling on the country to come together and raise funds for charity on what would have been his 101st birthday. Emmy-nominated actor Edgar Ramirez has joined the cast of Borderlands. The movie is the film adaptation of popular video game of the same name. Series Bridgerton has roped in actors Charitra Chandran, Shelley Korn and Callum Lynch as new cast for Season 2. HBO has recently announced to launch the Iron Anniversary, that is a month-long celebration marking 10 years of Game of Thrones. American singer and songwriter Mariah Carey received first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The five-time Grammy winner took to social media to inform. The release of the upcoming Hollywood movie Mortal Kombat has been pushed forward by a week and is now set to release on the 23rd of April. And that's it in Express News. But the fight against COVID-19 is still on. Don't forget to wear your mask and protect yourself and your loved ones from the pandemic. Be safe and wear your mask.